Please do not attempt this at home. These tests were conducted by trained professionals.
Hi, I'm Greg.
And I'm Woody.
We're here at Mackie, and today we're going to do the Amplifier Extreme Performance Challenge. Let's get to it. Alright, so we got the FRS-2800 amplifier by Mackie past the security guards earlier, and earlier today I was out at a local dealer and purchased a comparable amplifier from brand Q, and about ready to get started with the testing. Let's get them out of the boxes.
Okay, and welcome back. Now we've got the amps out of the boxes. I'm just going to run you through what we're actually going to be doing in the test here today, and the gear we're going to be using. So first of all, we've set this gear up near the largest plug socket in the entire building up there on the wall. Obviously eye protection required when stepping near to that outlet. Down beneath that comes straight into a massive variac with the meter on top, which shows us the voltage and current draw. Coming away from that, obviously we have the amplifiers themselves, and measuring the amps and feeding the amps is all being done over here on the right by our very high cost Audio Precision 2 system, and up the top here our LaCroix meter, one of the finest meters available to mankind today, and that's all being shown up on our big display here on screen. And basically the system is going to be run as a sine wave into the amps, and the amps are being loaded by that huge simulated load on the left there, which is acting as our massive array of speakers, and that's going to be providing a 2 ohm load onto the amplifiers. We're going to basically feed the sine wave into the amps and then turn it up, and we're going to measure the output wattage, and we're going to see see just quite how far we can push them today.
Okay, so for our first test, we're going to start with the Mackie FRS-2800, and this amplifier is rated to 1300 watts per channel at 2 ohms. And what we're going to do here is just going to bring the level of the sine wave signal that's feeding it up until we hit that 1300 watt mark, and just make sure that it can do that. So here we go.
Okay, and now time for brand Q. Again, we're going to be running a 2 ohm load per channel, and with that load this amplifier is rated at 1250 watts. So let's go for the sweep. That's not good.
Uh-oh. Turn it down.
I was running it through the sweep. I don't know.
We should probably have a look here. Nothing. It's completely dead. Should we open it up? Kind of smells hot.
I feel a little embarrassed about that.
So Woody seems to have overdone it a bit on competitor Q here, and it's completely killed the amplifier. There's no power whatsoever. There's no lights on the front end. It's not drawing any power. It is a useless paperweight at this point. So in the interest of fairness, I think maybe we should bring the FRS back to the bench here and let him work his magic on it as well.
Okay, let's try this again, see if I can run my magic twice.
Okay, it's turned itself off. That's the amplifier's protection circuitry kicking in, I do believe. And it's back online.
So that's the difference.
So what's happening is, yeah, turn it down.
So there we have the difference on the FRS amplifier. When it reaches its extreme threshold, it self-protects and actually shuts itself down. And what we can see the amp doing here is every time it reaches its threshold, it shuts down, cools down, and then allows signal again. Obviously, if this was passing musical material that wasn't quite as punishing as a constant sine wave, these really high output wattages would be achievable over a much longer period of time. But obviously with a sine wave continuous tone, the amplifier is just oscillating right on its limit. But the big thing is, I can't blow it up. So Greg, what do you think we learned from that brief, exhilarating and at times emotionally charged experiment that we just performed?
First and foremost, that my amplifier driving skills are much more refined than yours.
Indeed they are, sir. Yes, they are.
But we started off here today with two amplifiers that on paper appear to perform to the same levels.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what we saw on the bench was quite different. In fact, when we pushed this amplifier, brand Q, to its limits and beyond,
sorry about that.
It failed immediately and was non-recoverable.
And the Mackie obviously didn't. We got
well, to be fair, we had to do the same thing to it that you did to that one.
Correct.
So we pushed it beyond its limits, and what we saw was this cycling of going into protect mode and then coming back online until it heated up too much again, and then it would go back into protect. And it did this endlessly.
So what does that mean to the guys out there using these amps?
Well, the fact is that a lot of guys using amps like this are going to push them to their limits and maybe even beyond on occasion, and it's nice to know that the Mackie will protect itself and be there for you to finish that gig and for the next gig.
Built like a tank.
Yeah.
Real well tested.